All right, guys, welcome back. It is week 11. Wow, week 11. We're already there. Today, our special guest will be calling in or doing clips later on, but we have to get into the first matchup, which is your matchup, Brad.
Yeah. Was going against Steve this week, and look, it felt good to put up a big number.
Yeah.
Was much needed, and it came with the help of Jameis Winston. So I picked him up off the waiver, I think this same day. Started him just to try to see if something happened. He ended up getting 35 points. Scored 178 overall. Steve had a couple guys on a bye week, so it was a low week for him. But yeah, it felt good to get a big number up there. On to the next matchup and our guest this week, Donald's grand team against the neighborhood. Donald, what did you see in your matchup this week? What propelled you to the victory?
I don't know who you think you are. Telling me to send in clips for the video. You invite me to the studio. I don't send in clips. You understand? I'm getting in my truck right now. It's already running. I can't believe you would ask me to send in clips. I get invited to studios. I'll be there soon.
All right, now on to the blowout of the week. Louisiana Voodoo against Carolyn, and this was just an absolute blowout. Almost a 100-point victory for Carolyn. She had really big points from all of her team. She even had a 0 from the tight end spot and put up 164. A lot of that was from Breece Hall, had 31 points. Really big week for him. Unexpected, but a really big week and really good for her moving forward. She's got a little bit more depth now, so I look forward to seeing what happens with her lineup.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't give it to you. That would have counted, by the way. That was almost a home run if you went all the way around. But it was a really good effort. Really. Quite tremendous. So take this back to your life. It's $250,000. Enjoy.
Art of the Deal versus Take What You Can. T. Higgins all day. Funny story about this. I picked up Joe Flacco off the waiver wire. I flipped him 4 times to get T. Higgins, and it proved worth it. He was the only player that played well for me. Got me into the win column. My bench had 120 points. I scored 118, so we're going to figure out some things here at the headquarters of Art of the Deal. But other than that, we're moving on.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Meatball Ron.
Are you at all afraid of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis winning the primary election?
I mean, you're asking me if I would be afraid of a meatball. If you want to know the truth, I'm not scared of Ron DeSanctimonious. That's what I call him. A lot of people are saying it. If you look at the numbers, but not at all, okay? Believe me.
All right, on to the next matchup. Snowball against Rule 1. I'm number 1, and this was a big, big week for Maggie. It looks like she finally started the right players and scored 161 points, none bigger than Jameson Williams with the Detroit Lions. If you have a Detroit Lion in your lineup, odds are you have a really good chance of winning that week.
No, really. I just...
There's certainly none of this in the wild. This is a highly refined type of food thing that you do not find in the wild.
You ever thought there might be more to life than steak, Alex?
He didn't mean that, baby.
All right, guys, on to a painful matchup. Chattahoogan against Lorelai Gilmore. Brad, Lorelai's season has tanked. She barely has a chance now. We'll get into that later, into the playoff picture. But for Logie, he's playing well. Tua, you got Kareem Hunt actually had a bad week, but his new wide receivers with Pickens and Sutton, really great wide receivers to have on any fantasy team. But unfortunately, he's still out of the playoffs, so...
Hey, tomorrow, if you have time, I'm planning on despising everyone who says, hey, how's it going?
You're on.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, no, that's just too easy.
All right, now on to Monday Night Madness, and this was probably one of the best ones we've had. This was number 1 in the league, Little Giants, against the Dudes Abide, and the Dudes thought they had this one in the bag.
Everyone did.
I mean, they had a 78% chance of winning going into Sunday Night Football, and then Joe Burrow and Ladd McConkey took the field, and boom, Chloe gets 63 points from those 2 players, and then only needs 9 points out of Tank Dell.
Which was scarce. I mean, he almost didn't do it. It was 1 catch. at the end of the third quarter that put them over the edge.
Yep, won by 0.24 points. That's a tough one to swallow for the Dudes Abide.
Hey, what? Hey! Ow! Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
All right, guys, now on to the playoff picture. We are running out of time, Brad.
3 weeks.
Let me first start off with two teams that have clinched a playoff berth. Little Giants and Art of the Deal, congratulations, you are in the playoffs. It just mattered of seeding at this point. Now, the two teams that are still out, Chattanooga and Louisiana Voodoo, I'm sorry you're not going to make the playoffs this year, but we have a lot of teams that are still in contention and do have a chance. Brad, take us through it.
Yeah, so Elsa and Donald, they're in really good position.
Yeah,
they would have to lose out in order to miss the playoffs, so that's unlikely. I need to look at their schedules coming down the stretch.
But it's still possible.
It is possible, yes.
Still possible.
The 4 and 7s, there's 3 teams at 4 and 7 right now. The Dudes, Snowball, and Lorelei Gilmore. You guys would have to at least win 2 out of 3 to give yourselves a chance. I think the best out of that group that has a good chance would be Lorelei Gilmore. She's got more points scored.
I don't
but
know.
Dudes Abide could be in a decent
Mine
position.
is Snowball. Now, Snowball has to play me one of those weeks, but Snowball has the ability to put up big points and shock everybody. But really for these teams, 2 out of 3, I think is being generous. I think you need to sweep and get all 3 wins to have a chance going in, especially with how many points you scored compared to the rest of the field. But I don't know. We'll see.
And now the middle of the pack, I mean, it's very, very tight. Spots 5 through 9, that's a 1-game difference. 4 of those 5 are tied right now, and I'm on the outside looking in. I like my chances just with my schedule coming down the stretch.
Absolutely.
But it's really anybody's game at this point.
Prediction here. I'm sorry for the neighborhood, but the neighborhood's going to play me this week. They have 1 billion people on bye. They're going to lose. I think the neighborhood's going to slide out into that 9 spot. I don't think any of the 4 and 7 teams have a chance at this point. I think I'm going to put you in the 8, 7, 6 spot, but I think that's our playoffs right there, is those 8 teams accept the neighborhood and put CMC 2025. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully next week we're going to get either Logan or Micah on. I don't know when they're coming into town, but we really want to do these interviews in person, so we're going to wait on those. But other than that, thank you so much. Bye-bye.